This is a huge stand of trees. See the way that each individual tree has a peak or a point at the top. Here's some of those trees again, smaller. Notice the peak at the top? They appear to be some sort of conifer. And they have these little nuts. That body of water you can see in the distance is called Mother of Ducks Lagoon. And we'll go and have a closer look at that. Its current use is as a recreation and wetlands reserve. It's had a checkered history though. The Mother of Ducks Lagoon Restoration and Beautification Project was a bicentennial project, and this plaque was unveiled in November 1988. The struggle to conserve the lagoon. In the 19th century, Mother of Ducks has been a favourite picnic site for thousands of years. Late in the 19th century, it was even used by pleasure boats, and a steam-driven launch, the Florry, took people for a ride around the lake. It's been drained 3 times so that it could be used for grazing cattle. During the past 150 years, the lagoon and its surrounds have been used for grazing, a town common, a showground, racecourse, golf course, and for game shooting. And this shows how they've built levees to stop the water from draining away so that it doesn't become marshland. So the pre-1923 level was up to there. Pre-1951 was 1.8 metres. This is where it is now. The pre-1963 level was down here. That's when they were draining it. This is a nice area. It's empty at the moment, but I would guess it would be quite popular with the townsfolk, particularly on the weekends. This is the part that was protected, or is protected by levees. And it's been made into a golf course. They've got this little hide sticking out into the water. It's a hide, a bird hide, so you can go in there and watch the wildlife, which has just about gone now. What a shame. I was here earlier this morning and the place was full of birds, including black swans. And now, about 2 or 3 hours later, there's hardly a bird to be seen. I can see some swans right in the distance and other birds, but not around this hide area. Well, we'll do a sweep around. As you can see, it's a very large area. I'm in the hide now. It was an even larger area, but they built levees there where those high vegetation are, and on the other side of the levees they've drained it to make the golf course. And apparently, depending on the weather conditions and the rain events, this can become just marshland rather than a body of water. So that's why they built the levees, in some attempt to retain the water for as long as possible and keep the birds, because birds are migratory. Black swans definitely are, and if there's not much water there, they'll go very quickly. So the edges now are man-made edges, which are bounded by the levee. If we just cross back over here. This is now the levee. That's the lagoon. That's now the golf course, and as you can see, it's maybe 6 or 8 feet beneath the levee. Now on the other side of the levee they have this creek. And crisscrossing the golf course there's a couple of other creeks which are used as drainage to keep this area from becoming swampy. It is actually fairly spongy underfoot, so they do their best to keep it as dry as possible, and that includes pumping it out if necessary, but I think the creeks are what really keep it drained. Hear it? The water. And then you can see it lies in puddles too. You can see where the mower tractor has been. So it's always on the verge of being swampy. And I think if the town did not keep it free of water, it would go back to being swamp after the first heavy rain. So you know, there's that levee there and another creek. The brambles, they're always trying to take the brambles out. They're blackberry brambles, but the blackberries are delicious. I stopped yesterday beside the New England Highway. There were some brambles there, a lot of brambles, and they had some huge, beautiful, sweet blackberries. Very nice. So as you can see, there's a series of creeks, bridges to go over them. Another creek here. That little shed behind the tree is a pump house. Has a pump to pump water back into the creek should it start to accumulate on the golf course. It's an aerial view of it when it doesn't have any water in it. Must have been during a drought. Mother of Ducks Lagoon is one of the largest wetlands in New England. At 1,330 metres above sea level, it is also one of the highest. Dedicated in 1972, provides a place for migratory birds, and this helps to meet Australia's obligations under international migratory bird agreements. In 1988, Australian bicentennial funding was received for a project to restore water levels and to establish visitor facilities.